Hey y'all, what's up? It's Itzel. I know I haven't been able to upload a video in a while, and that's because I lost my battery charger, but I'm back now, and today is actually Friday, June 11th, and I just finished my first week of grad school. Oh my gosh, what can I say? So if you follow me along, you know that I was going to start my grad school program here at UC Berkeley, getting my master's as well as my teaching credential in history and social science. That program started this week on Monday. This week has definitely been very, very overwhelming in terms of teachers like telling you, all of the expectations in class, all of the things that, we're going to be doing throughout the semester, engagement, just talking about like boundaries and introducing each other, to one another, like students as well as like the students to the teachers and vice versa. So it was definitely a lot of, introductions and getting to know like who's in the room, who's in the program. So it's been fun, it's been nice, it's been a little bit of everything. They gave us a ton of homework. So last week on Thursday and Friday was our orientation. And I think the orientation kind of prepared us a little bit for what was gonna come this whole week, because a lot of it was kind of the same format, like, listening from each other, talking, being very open and vulnerable about, how to talk about race, equity, ethnicity, and, all of these really heavy topics that I think all of us come from different parts of the country, different positionalities, we're all different, race and ethnicity. So I think it was just a little bit of a training for how to show up, right, in the space. So definitely a lot of like talking. Most of my classes, the big chunk of the classes were going into breakout rooms and like following a prompt and following a discussion. And I guess I appreciate this because like I do like to talk a lot about these issues. So I think it is a good practice for how we engage with each other and how we all like learn about these things. As you can tell, I'm a little bit all over the place right now because one, like I haven't filmed in a while, so I'm kind of just like telling y'all how this week went, and also I'm generally just like I want to make sure that I'm putting a video out there to record like this really special moment in my life, right? Like this is something that I've been looking forward to. This is something that I waited for such a long time. I worked so hard to get here, and it's just a really exciting new chapter in my life. And the reason why I wanted to share kind of like all the thoughts and feelings and things that I'm processing right now is because I know some of you are either like in the process yourself, or you're looking ahead of like what to expect. So I can definitely see myself in your shoes, and I know that even some of the things that you're not in the education field, you're in a different field, but just a little bit of like my identity, you can relate to it. So I think I want to be really like intentional about like opening this chapter in my life with other folks, because I know like education and grad school can be a very isolating space. So yeah, I want to make sure that I'm also having some time also for myself to like reflect. And so what I'm gonna do today, after I record this video, is I want to write a letter to myself after finishing my first week of grad school, this master's program. I want to write a letter to myself that talks about how I feel, the good, the bad, the in between, the confused, the anxious, just so that I can kind of like look back in the future of, how I felt this week, so that I can kind of see either like progress or things that I still need to work on. And I think this piece will really help me kind of ground me in developing my own like self-reflection and be really self-critical. And something that also I think I want to do is like not only go through this process alone, but like have you all kind of following me along, even if it is through like a screen. But I think it helps me hold myself accountable to the work that I'm doing, and it keeps me motivated as well. If you like these videos, please continue to like comment. I always love to see folks comment saying congrats and like all these things, like even on like my Instagram, right, on Itzel Studies, I get messages from some of y'all. So those are really helpful for me, to keep going. And I hope that, that you also keep going in your journey, because I know it's not easy, but I think the more of us going through something together, the better, the outcomes are for all of us, right? Not just like individually, but collectively. Another update, it was my birthday 2 weeks ago on May 21st. I also walked the stage at UC Berkeley, like in person. That was really nice as well. And I'm just feeling really grateful, for having this new beginning or new chapter start like literally like within weeks of me closing officially another chapter. Because when I graduated, like I didn't get the whole ceremony or anything. So it did feel like a little bit that I missed out on that. But at the same time, I feel like at least walking down the stage, even if my parents were not physically there, just having them witness me through the video of such a monumental time in my life was really special for me. So yeah, those are some of my updates. Some of the things that I've been reflecting has been like, all of the things that it took for me to get here. I just remember like, the first time that I started going to City College, and, immediately being told that I had to pay out-of-state tuition because of my immigration status. And I hadn't, I don't qualify for AB 540. So having to pay out-of-state tuition and, kind of navigating that aspect of my college experience, and having to talk to administrators, having to talk to counselors, all of which were telling me, why don't you just go back to Oregon and access like the DREAM Act there, so that you can go to college, or just straight up like, like right now you can't go to college because you can't afford it. So, we're not going to put you in a position where you can't afford college, so you're going to get into debt because of the payment policies that were in place, that you couldn't attend your classes unless you paid up front. And then also like another part of that being like the educators that came into my life during such a hard time. Like some of them, like literally telling me that I could borrow their personal books for like the classroom, because they knew that I couldn't afford it because of out-of-state tuition, or like even just like having to work in the mornings and taking night classes. So my professors, that I would see at 6:30 p.m. on a Wednesday, like catching them eating in the cafeteria, by themselves, like knowing that they have families to take care of, families to be with, and like the sacrifices that they made, right, to hold night classes. It just reminds me of like the type of educator that I want to be. Like I want to make education accessible, whether or not the school, the system, the curriculum, whether or not those things are not accessible. I want to create a space that tells young people that that's not your fault, that you are not the one that's failing, it's the system that's failing you. Because I think that change in narrative kind of helped me overcome a lot of the obstacles that I was having thrown at me, you know, a lot of obstacles that I'm like, maybe I should just give up, maybe I should just work, you know, and only take one class per semester, like until who knows when I graduate, you know. And a big part of that was the reason why it took me like 7 years, you know, to graduate. But I think that it's the never giving up part for me. Like, I don't know, and this isn't to like romanticize education either, because education is a place that does not show you love if you are a Black, Indigenous, queer, trans, you know, marginalized student. Like, it just doesn't show you love, right? But it's the people, it's the classmates, the other students, the folks that you're able to meet along the way that make it so that you're able to get through those obstacles, and get past that, right? With that support from your community. And I think that's something that always comes to mind when I'm struggling and thinking about like, oh my god, all these readings, you know. But at the end of the day, like, everything that I'm doing and all of the readings that I'm doing, they all personally connect to me. So I'm excited for this journey. I'm excited to see where this goes. Yeah, those are some of the reflections that I have right now. So I also wanted to show y'all my little setup here. It looks a little bit different than when I started my channel, but this is just kind of what it looks like. And I have my little like ring light right there because sometimes the light comes in and out from that window, so it really messes with like my zoom camera, and so that just kind of helps me also with my YouTube channel. Over here I have this little process journal that they made us create so that one of my classes, like, we're able to write as we process things. I literally had to like make it myself. Like, this is like a rubber band, and this is like a little stick from skewers. I'm not artistic. Like, I don't know, like, I'm artsy, but I'm not like crafty, if that makes any sense. But anyways, that's my journal. And then I have some paintbrushes for my arts integration class. I don't know what we're gonna need these things for, but we'll see. And I have my little affirmations from my youth. When I stopped working 2 weeks ago, my coworker got them to write me little like goodbye notes and affirmation notes, so I keep them there as a reminder, you know, of my love and commitment to work with youth. Those are so sweet. I have some more paintings here for my beautiful, amazing friends Araceli and Yadira, and I have my little calendar here to keep me organized. This is my keyboard. It's just like the regular Logitech. The reason why I really like this one is because it's ergonomic, which just means that it's gonna help with like not get carpal tunnel, hopefully. And this is my calendar. I'm trying really hard to stay organized and on top of my readings, so this has really helped me. Really quickly before I go, I did want to mention that one of the things that I really like about this program is that they are being very, very intentional about the way that we exist within the program, and knowing that we are well-rounded people. We are not just students. And so one of the first things that they made us do during orientation is write a list of people who we can reach out to when we need support. Literally like write their names and then share it with others, kind of as a way to like hold ourselves accountable to each other, to know, like, you know, if one of us is going through something, that we're gonna have each other to say, hey, you can call this person or you can talk to this person. And I don't know, I just feel like that's really cute, and I'm getting to know my classmates in a more deeper way and building connections with them in a much more intentional way. So I really appreciate that. And just a reminder for you too, don't forget that you're not just a student, you're not just an academic, you're also, you know, a loved person by the people around you. So remember to always reach out to those loved ones and never forget about them. Big reflection for me there too. So I'm gonna try my best to stay very connected to my loved ones. Thank you all so much for sticking around with me. As always, please like and subscribe this video so this video can also reach others as well. And I will see you next time.